Nadean Sanderson, and I am 70, and I'm a kickboxer. I started kickboxing in 2019, and I was 66 at the time. I started kickboxing because people yelled at me and I didn't like it.
That's for the outtakes.
Okay.
Okay, when you're ready.
So I started kickboxing because I needed something to fill my time. I had retired and I had fallen into a real deep depression, and I saw an ad, and it was on Facebook. I saw this ad for kickboxing, and I thought, oh, let's see if they'll accept me. See if I can go try. Before I started kickboxing, I had found out I was diabetic a few years back, and I was on insulin. And then, like I said, the depression was part of it too. So, and I was overweight. So that's what part of my health was, and I just didn't feel good about myself. Why I was depressed was because I went from working full time, working 12-hour shifts, and my life was a nurse. And that's all I thought I was. I didn't see myself as anything else but a nurse. And so when I left that job, now who was I? You know, I forgot that I was a wife and a sister and all these other things. I just didn't think I had anything. One of the scariest things about starting was I had no clue what I was doing. But once I walked in there, it's like I felt at home. It's crazy, but right from the start, I felt at home, and I was made to feel. Never at one time did I feel like, oh, I'm this old lady and I shouldn't even be in here doing this. Everyone welcomed me, you know, but I was scared that, what the hell. So to be able to go in there at 66 years of age, that was a big step in itself, because all these kids were, it was a whole bunch of kids, and here I am, this old lady, or I felt like I was this old lady coming in to try kickbox. But I was put at such ease that I never even thought of my age. So I would tell anybody, just go try. So I started strength training in 2020 with Dennis Smythe, because I just felt like I needed to be able to get stronger, to be able to do things like stand up with instead of falling over when there was things that I had to do, like kicks, different kicks. I'd go to kick and I would fall, and so I had to get that strength, and so yeah, that's what I did as I started strength training. So I was strength training and doing very well. And then in August of 2021, I got taken out by the drain pipe on the garage. I came around the corner. I have to say that I walk every day, and I try to I do 10,000 to 13,000 steps a day. So I'm just coming around the corner and right over the drain pipe, and I ended up breaking my arm, and I had to have surgery. I was in hospital for 9 days. They put a plate in here and some screws, and that was, on top of COVID happening, then this happened too. So it's been tough. I've had to get through those things too. Just seeing how my arm was like out to the side, and I was out in the back alley by myself. So I had to get in the gate, and I'm right-handed. So I had to use my left hand to get in the gate. Gary, my husband, is out on the deck with the dog. So he hears me screaming. The dog heard me first. So Gary opens the door. I'm standing there, blood running down my face, my arm hanging to my side, and he thinks I've been mugged. So that was It was just scary in itself, just trying to get into the house. I probably would have been worried about breaking my arm at that age, except that my surgeon said because of my activity, how fit I was for my age, that he just saw it as that I was going to have a good recovery. He wasn't too concerned. So when your surgeon says that, then I wasn't too worried about it. I broke it in August of 2021. I was back doing my strength training by November of 2021. And then I got back to kickboxing. I believe it was January that I got back to doing that. And the last thing that I was able to get back to was my bowling. Out of everything, it was my bowling that it just took all the strength I had. And so I didn't get back to that till probably about March. Okay, so after I broke it and then got back to doing my strength training by November, I had friends that said, "Are you crazy? Like, you've got to give yourself more time to heal." But the, doing the training was healing my arm. You know, I think if I had stayed at home and not done anything, it would have been a lot longer to get back to it. So, yeah, I had friends that thought I was nuts, but you know, they know me too. Yeah. So, being able to have that confidence and the strength that I've gained just being doing the kickboxing and being with these people that are so young that make me feel young. You know, I can't say enough about how that mentally puts you into a different state. And so since I've been into kickboxing and then moved into my strength training as well, I've I think I said this before. I'm no longer on insulin, and I've lost weight, and just overall I feel so good. You know, it's like you I can go out there and, well, except being scared of the damn drain pipe, but you know, I'm I just feel better about myself. My little journey, um, like I never thought I would be able to take it this far. I never thought that I'd be able to learn the things I have. So my coach, Scott, the first coach that I had, if he had not shown me that I was able to do this, he gave me that the encouragement, and all the rest of the group too showed me that you are able to do this. And I think if you know, I was only there for a few months and I was able to move up to the next level, which surprised the hell out of me because I thought that I was going to have to go through this big test and get nervous. But Scott didn't. So I came in the day, he said, "Come in anyway," when everybody else was testing. And I said, "Well, I'm not ready to test." And he said, "Come in anyway." So I went in, and lo and behold, that day, he was when everyone else got to their next level. Um, so I'm in the lineup, and he says, "This little lady has been here every day," and I did go. I was there every day. Every day I went, and he said, "This little lady has been here every day." And I'm looking at these, there's, you know, some very short people there. And I thought it was one of them they were talking about. And he said, and then when he said Nadine, I just was, that just still makes me so emotional because I never ever thought that I could get to where I was. So, yeah, I'm, and then I've slowly, once I knew that I could achieve this, then I can move up to the next level and the next level.
What do you think the right thing is to motivate somebody to try to even do something that they want to do?
I don't know. I just don't let people tell me I can't do it. if you say I can't, I'm going to get in there and I'm going to just do the best I can. And then it helps, like when, you just gave me that encouragement, and that's all I needed was that little bit of,
Yeah.
you can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can remember that day like yesterday, standing there going, oh, who got there? I was just so happy for them, and it's like it was me.
Oh, when you got the testing day.
With the others, it was like,
Yeah.
oh my God. That I have. So this is I don't have the pictures with my brothers. There's 10 in our family.
Mhm.
There's with all my sisters and my mom. So of course there's me up in the corner. And this is a picture I had this done. I was 33 in this picture when I quit smoking. And I had this picture done of myself. So my grandchildren gave me this for Christmas. It says Ninja Grandma. So my advice to someone who's just starting out, just go give it a try. You're not going to know until you just get in there and do it, and just walk past those fears, and don't be afraid of your age or anything. Stay focused and tell yourself, I looked up other people like Muhammad Ali. I had quotes written down of, this is what I'm going to focus on. If you want something, you got to work for it. And, you've got to, if you've never had it, you've got to work hard to get it. And so that's what I did. And one of the quotes I like that he had was, uh, if if they can make moldy bread into penicillin, imagine what you can make out of yourself. That was one of my favorite quotes.